Okay, we go ahead and go.
Ready.
Questions for Coach.
Just going back to last week, how did you assess the way you guys played on defense?
I think there was, in a lot of ways, it was an improvement from the previous week. Still kind of dug ourselves an early hole, but showed a lot of resistance, or a lot of grit, and coming back and getting ahead on that thing. And actually, we're part of that. Got some key turnovers there that provided some good field position. So I like the relentlessness of our guys. And you said when we played, we were all functioning together out there, and we had a lot of good snaps of defense. So we've got to keep working on those. There's a few plays that it wasn't quite in sync, and some of that stuff ends up kind of showing itself. So again, I'm not disappointed, but I'm also realistic to know that we just got to keep getting better at some of those things, because we're going to continue to play top quality competition all year long. So.
Week over week, then, how do you measure improvement? Is it statistics? Is it execution? How do you look at that?
No, I don't really think it's statistics so much. I feel like it's our guys doing what we ask. Are they playing hard every week? I can say, yeah, we do play hard every week. I think we do try to play fast. I do think we try to play physical. The fundamental part of things is always a work in progress, both as a individual position player and and as a defense, putting it all together. So we've got some work to do in that area for sure. But I thought we had some pretty good responses to things. Again, we 2-minute drives that we were successful and no points on the board, and got a big stop at the end down there to force them into a field goal on a goal line situation. We were able to hold them to 3 points, which kind of kept that lead where it was. So there's a lot of good things we can take from that also, and so we're certainly improving. But again, we've still got a good ceiling ahead of us yet that we can attain to.
Pass rush wise, just how'd you feel?
No, I thought it was better. Obviously, we got to the quarterback a little bit better. I thought that was a pretty good offensive line that we were facing last week, and some really good individual players, and we were able to. Caleb Sampson on the inside, found his way through there, and then on the outside a couple different times. So I felt like it was an improvement over our previous week, and I don't think we got any kind of sacks on any kind of pressure, but so our tackles for loss and our sacks came on just straight rush stuff, which is, to me, is always good, because then you're able to keep playing coverage on the back end. So I was happier last week than probably the previous week in terms of our ability to rush the passer for sure.
So it gives you just confidence moving forward, and against these better opponents, you can win those one-on-one battles.
Yeah. Anytime, like I said, when you can do that, when you can get there with 4 guys, then you can basically play any kind of coverage you want on the back end and feel like you got a realistic chance. I do think we play some pretty good pass defense at times, and oftentimes, and so those two things just have to mesh. And I think the interception that we were able to get last week was, we didn't really sack the quarterback, but we flushed him, and he threw under duress, and we had good coverage and got an interception. So that's just teach our guys that's how things work. That's how you're successful on defense, is you make the offense get out of their rhythm.
What goes into executing a faster start this week as for last week?
I don't know. I wish I did. I know we can't keep functioning that way, and there's always different things that play into it. And I don't think it's not ready to play. It's not motivated to play. I don't think it's any of those kind of things. They just teams have for one reason or another. Sometimes it doesn't take that much to not be very successful, and so. Just a little bit of breakdown here or there, and all of a sudden there's a big play and they're in the end zone and you're behind. So I'm not. We need to do a better job in some of our. I think they had 13 plays last week of over 10 yards, and that's every 5 or 6 plays they're getting a big play, and we've got to cut that number down for sure. And because when you give up a 40-yard run for a touchdown, or a 40-yard screen pass for a touchdown, or a 40-yard screen or 50-yard screen that doesn't go for a touchdown, but you go right down, you're getting right down there. It just doesn't take much for teams to score sometimes. So once we've kind of gotten past those first couple of drives now, I felt like we've performed better, particularly last week. So But yeah, we're trying to think about ways, hey, what can we do in practice to help ourselves? And to me, it's more attention to detail all the time. Just what are you doing? Being locked in, being focused on what you have to do, and then just paying attention to detail, doing things the right way.
So was that improvement over the course of the last couple of games, did that come more from just execution of everything, or was it adjustments?
No, it's not really adjustments. It's execution of, I can't say we did a lot of things differently. First half, second half, or anything else. There's always a couple things here or there, but it's really just settling down, getting your poise, playing with poise, and getting your composure back, and playing. And guys did a really good job again of, can hear them talking amongst themselves of they know what needs to be done. They know that, hey, we can play better. We need to play better. Here's what we need to do. And it's not schematic stuff. It's just confidence and focus and execution, putting a premium on execution, as opposed to, I can go out there and play really hard and run all around the place, but if I'm not really functioning within the scheme of things, there's a high chance you're not going to be that successful. Okay, if you can run around and fly around and play within the scheme, man, now you got something. So we just need a little more of that.
We spent a lot of time in the preseason talking about the upgraded depth on defense. I think it was 25 guys played last week, 23 the week before. I guess, first of all, is there a sweet spot you'd like to find in terms of the number of guys, and how do you feel about those second guys that have come in so far?
Yeah, I don't know that there's any certain number. I do like the amount of depth that we have. I like the competition that it brings about. I think guys are hungry. A guy knows that, hey, if I'm not practicing that well, I shouldn't expect to play that much, because there's going to be somebody else. So I think that helps us stay locked in a little bit more in practice. And there only 11 guys can play at once, and there's only so many snaps to go around. So somebody's probably never going to be quite happy. At least a number of guys probably always wishing for more. But as we always said, you got to excel in the role that you have and work for more. So as long as a guy keeps that attitude, that hungry attitude, he's gonna prepare well, and hopefully he'll perform well. But I think it helps to keep guys fresh, and and for the long haul of a game and a season, I think the more guys you can put out there without really having drop off, the better to a certain extent. And there's times and situations where we don't sub as much. We just was last week was case in point where we did. It was hotter, humid, all those kind of things, and we wanted to get guys some rest and keep them fresh, and get some other guys in there that probably deserve to play. So that's kind of the way that goes.
Coach, when you look at Duke, what jumps out at you?
Well, they have many of the same players that put 52 points on us last year, so I don't know that we have any reason or cause to be overconfident. I think we're confident, but I think we understand also that we're playing a very good team. They are super solid in their execution of things and their discipline of things. I'm not going to say they don't do a lot, but they have a finite number of things that they do, but they do them really, really well. And I think their quarterback is an excellent leader of their offense, kind of the catalyst, makes them go, makes good decisions with the ball. They got a diverse offense, a lot of kind of the read option plays and the throws that come off of it, and some of the other plays as well. So they do challenge you, but I think the sum of their parts is really something, and they're really well coached and really well disciplined. And if you can't match that and play with that, you're going to have trouble against them, as everybody has so far.
Craig obviously plays a pretty, what seems like, complex position, kind of that field linebacker spot. How have you seen him get more comfortable through the first 3 games?
Craig Young?
Yeah.
He's he wants to do everything, and so we kind of had to we pared some things down for him a little bit, because it gets to be a point of overload. Also, we really hadn't been on our program all that long to do some things, but he does really excel. He's long, and he's athletic, and he runs well. He covered their Houston slot receiver last week. He covered him. So I got a lot of confidence in that he can do some of those things, but So I really love his versatility, and said there's no one harder on Craig Young than Craig Young. So success is really never going to go to his head, and he is really hungry to play at a high level and continue to improve. So, man, I don't worry about him. And so we count on him for a lot of stuff. So and he's really delivered so far. Really happy with him.
What about your team? Do you worry about the success and the hoopla that has built suddenly around this football team? Do you worry it might affect the kids?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question. I don't know how many guys in this program, at least that have been around here for any length of time, or they're not used to success really. So now we've had a small amount of success, and yeah, so I think there's a little bit of not concern like, man, this is all going to our head, but concern that it potentially could. I don't know if I see that right now. I think guys are still, hey, they're excited about what's going on. I think they're excited about the interest that that it's generated. I think they'll be excited when there's a stands full of people on Saturday. But all those things need to enhance everything. It's not all that can go away pretty fast too, right? All the success, the winning, the notoriety, all that stuff is a byproduct of really improving and doing well. So yeah, we really need to stay just locked in, and what got you to this point is what's going to continue you to stay at this point and then some, So I look back at my past in coaching and with Coach Leopold and the previous places that we've been, and particularly 2 stops ago at Whitewater, where we went over 3 seasons without losing a game once, and so I think that was always there's confidence that's generated from having success, but there's also got to be that humbleness to it, in that there's always something more to attain to. So human nature, I think, is to take your foot off the gas when things are going your way and relax and feel like you have it. We've really got to guard against that as program wide, and I know it's addressed every day. I'm confident our guys are going to be stay locked into this thing, because said winning and losing is pretty fine line, and obviously there's certain things that are going to help you win, and there's certain things that are going to cause you to lose, and we want to make sure we stay on the good side of that.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay. All right.